Oh, hello, buddies. Welcome to another edition of Barn Burner. It is a beautiful, glorious day. Good to have you along, friends. There's the hairy one, Ryan Pinder.
Sir.
And the distracted one, Rhett Warner, here in the Tower Chrysler studios.
No,
Tower?
I'm sending a picture out to our newest liker and subscriber, Jason Jagger. He's out there listening.
Oh, boy, Jace.
Just JJ. Shoutouts.
Double J.
Mick.
Yeah.
Jason Jagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
One of your
name drop.
He's a frickin' postal worker.
Loser.
Oh.
He's a friggin' loser, eh? This Jason Jagger guy.
He's digging for name drops.
Thanks for the subscribe and the like, by the way.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Yeah, Tower Chrysler Studios. Tower Chrysler, the #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer, as chosen by you, the people, is in the Consumer Choice Awards year after year. You love Tower, so do we, and so should you. If you don't, then give them a chance.
I mean, come on. You obviously don't know them if you don't love them.
Don't put up these walls, these boundaries, and be ignorant about it. Give them a chance. You too will come around. It's a game day.
It is. Got some lines getting tweeted out right now.
Are they playing at home?
They're in Winnipeg.
Oh,
it is a 6 o'clock Mountain start.
I feel like Dean gave us some insight into the city of Winnipeg over the summer. Do you want to discuss that?
Did, yeah. Dino, what's up? What's the skinny?
I don't know if I want to do that.
Just tell how it was. How was your experience in Winnipeg?
Yeah, what do you... Honesty is always the best.
It was a quick one, quick in and out, eh? Just kind of.
Yeah. I could go back in the history books and look it up. Probably.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
How would you describe it? Is it picturesque? Is it tranquil? Is it stabby? Like, what kind of adjectives would you use?
Well, I think I've even talked about it on here. It's rough.
It's stabby.
Yeah, Winnipeg is in need of a reno.
Oh,
it's the Saddle Dome of Canadian cities.
Jeez, that's tough.
It gets flooded all the time. It's run down. Needs some work. Ooh.
So it's not. You didn't go full. You could have gone McMahon Stadium of Canadian cities. You went.
Well, I think people just kind of connect the Saddle Dome, whatever, that sort of thing. I was, like I said, if you were a potential free agent, and they said, "Hey, why don't you come in? We'd love to take you around, show you the rink."
Yeah.
If you drive the most logical route from the airport to the rink, you would say, turn around.
Stabby.
Don't you want to see? Well, we're going to go inside. We're at the rink.
Now,
seen enough.
You could be, there could be hand jobs being given out in the locker room.
Jeez.
No need. I'm good.
Jason Jagger's going to tune out here in this stuff. You just lost a listener. Come on, Boom.
You're continually crossing that barrier of.
He is.
Unnecessary.
What with the HJs?
There's plenty of other things that you could bring up that would, get the point home without losing people 2 minutes into the show.
Yes, you could talk about transactions occurring on the street. You wouldn't have to get into that kind of detail. And to be fair,
stabby, as Ryan used.
Yes. If you drove to Rogers Arena in Vancouver via East Hastings from the Trans-Canada, you might see things worse than what you saw on the way from the airport in Winnipeg to the rink. In fact, I guarantee you would.
I guarantee you there is no comparison between the drive from the airports in Vancouver and Winnipeg to their respective arenas.
The airport, yes, but I'm telling you, there's a stretch on East Hastings that puts the rest of North America.
Ryan, are you saying that the city of Winnipeg and the city of Vancouver are comparable?
I'm certainly not. I'm just saying.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, he's there. We got out of the house for one day.
Well, don't be stupid. Oh, if you go to this certain city, you could find shut up. You know what I'm saying. The place is fucking rough.
Yes, I get that. What I'm saying is, like,
shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
We're not talking about Vancouver.
Just shut up.
You don't talk about HJs.
Grandpa's angry today. Holy.
Well, it's just you like to argue about everything.
I'm not
arguing. Tell me about Winnipeg, and I say Winnipeg's terrible. And you're like, well, Vancouver has places that are terrible. Is that you're planting your flag in that take?
Of course not. I don't want to argue.
Then shut up.
Yeah.
Tower Chrysler. 10901 McLeod Trail South. Tower Chrysler.
JETS. And this bastard be sitting there beside you, kind of, but not in the Tower Chrysler studio.
That's
over there.
He's trying to
peel off a tight end.
He's trying to steal a tight end from me.
Yes, he's got two
running back. I'm like, get the Jets.
Hey, now
you got two tight ends and two defenses.
No, I'm going to make a point here And I'm not trying to start a fight. I don't want to argue, Dean. But if you went back to draft day and I had offered you Delvin Cook for Sam Laporta, who we think might be doing overnight updates on CBS Radio or a cook in an Italian restaurant, you would have taken that deal in a heartbeat. But to Rhett's point, right now, you probably want we'll see a little more from Delvin Cook. Although his brother's a Bill, Rhett. That's got to count for something. Delvin Cook, Sam Laporta, who says no?
You know what? I've got the other Cook.
Well, and at the same time, if you want to go that way, because we're now heading into week 4, if somebody offered you Nick Chubb for Sam Laporta, you couldn't do it fast enough. Today, you're probably not doing that deal. No, things change fast in fantasy.
Bad comparisons here because that guy's dead.
No, listen, they change. Things change in fantasy. You can't hold on to where I drafted a guy or any of that. Look at freaking 100%. Jack 2 weeks ago spent half of his fab money on Josh Kelly. $50 on Josh Kelly, dropped him yesterday.
Ooh. I don't want to allege of any tampering, but he almost spent $100 on Josh Kelly, and I was like, you could probably get him for half that.
Really?
Ooh. Yes.
Just blowing the doors off. Yeah.
It's like, I know you really like Austin Eckler, but this guy just plays the same position. He isn't actually Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
But I think Dalvin Cook's still a good player, and it's like, look, the Jets offense blows right now. They're going to figure it out. They got a new quarterback in there. At least on the practice squad, and Trevor Siemian signed. It's not going to be as bad as it's looked for 3 weeks. It's been bleeping miserable since the 4th play of the season.
Don't tell me that you're making
it's amazing the stuff he can get behind. Hey, you know, they brought in Trevor Siemian. And,
who's worse than Zach Wilson? Name one.
Well,
Trevor
you know
Siemian, he didn't have a fucking job to start the year.
Zach Wilson wouldn't either. He have a contract. They got to pay $11 million to cut the guy. Otherwise, he'd be on the street. He'd be doing HJs in Winnipeg.
I've got it's interesting we got here organically. I've got a little, I should play it right now, but I'll hang on to it. Talking about Zach Wilson and how it's going. Don't get drafted to play quarterback in New York unless you're really, really good. Let's just do it. Jack, I think we've got it there. Now, before we play it, remember last year when Jonathan Huberdeau was struggling, right? He's having a hard time. You try and build the guy up. The alumni, Lanny McDonald in Los Angeles, throws on a Huberdeau jersey, says, this guy, you just got to give him a chance. We got to get behind him and support him. There's nothing like having the backing and the support of your alumni and the people around you when you're struggling.
Yeah.
Here's how it's going for Zach Wilson in New York.
It's the back on the bottom. He's looking downfield. And
I wouldn't keep him. You know, I've seen enough of Zach Wilson. All right? I've seen enough.
You're a Giant. If this was the situation with the Giants, you'd be screaming to get Wilson the hell out of there.
And when you look at what's transpiring with Zach Wilson, he's just playing like hot garbage.
Sounds good. I'm turning my mic off, buddy. He stinks.
No. They have to get that kid off the field. It doesn't matter who else plays.
Here's the deal. Zach needs to be released or traded. All right, that's just the way it is. Listen, enough.
But if he's in that locker room telling those players, Zach gives us the best chance of any human being on the planet to win, they know he's lying.
Hey, Zach! What the fuck? Hey, Cole! What the fuck? Hey, Zach! These tickets ain't cheap, Zach! This shit ain't cheap!
Yeah, good times.
Trevor Siemian, man, I'm telling you.
They got Trevor Siemian. Siemian's like, to hell with that. No thanks.
Why? What's he going to do wrong? You can't be worse than Zach. Even if you are, you didn't have a job.
Oh, and what's crazy is Wilson was a first-round pick.
High pick, highly
talented. Draft class is garbage.
It's one of the most amazing things to me still is how high and teams can put so much money into scouting and then draft up to get guys.
Happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
All the time.
God.
Like you think about Ryan Leaf at 1-1, who was Achilles Smith was like top 3. Who was the fat guy? Jamar Russell. Wasn't it Russell?
Yeah,
Raiders.
Wasn't it
Marcus
Lossman?
Russell. Thank you.
Lossman in Buffalo.
Well, and who was the guy?
No.
I'm drawing a blank here right now. He was with Pittsburgh, but Chicago moved up to get him like about 7-8 years ago.
Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky.
Like,
Terrible.
it's not easy. And honestly, Justin Fields, they moved up to get him, and that looks like absolute trash in Chicago. Like, it's really easy to go get Pro Bowl every position in the first round, except quarterback.
And
it's just a crapshoot.
And it still confuses me because this is the biggest sport. And that is, I mean, the contracts, you would think that the list of kids wanting to play quarterback, the talent that should be out there would be long. I think it speaks to how special a position maybe, I guess it is.
Like 32 teams and millions of kids play quarterback.
Yeah.
And there's not enough supply for the demand of the 32 team NFL.
No, there's not 32 guys that are number ones. So Wilson was drafted in 2021. I think he went second overall after Trevor Lawrence, if I'm correct. And Lawrence was heralded as this like superstar next Peyton Manning, and he's been good, but certainly not that. Then it's Trey Lance at 3. Guys hardly played, just got moved for a third rounder to Dallas, which felt like an overpay. That's how bad he's been. Justin Fields goes at 11. He's awful. They might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Mac Jones at 15. Everyone thought, oh, look at the Patriots. Wow, sneaky. They got the replacement for Tom Brady. No, they didn't. He's meh at best. Trask at 64. Like that whole draft class. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence at 1 is kind of underwhelming, and the rest are duds. Maybe Mac Jones is okay.
And to put you on the spot, really just because I didn't think we were going to end up here, could you call up the Mahomes draft and the guys that were drafted ahead of Mahomes? Because Mahomes, he's too small, and now he can scramble. But there was really no talk of what he was.
McCaffrey,
the teams that could have had Patrick Mahomes without moving up or anything probably could have moved down in the end. But the quarterbacks that went ahead of him.
Okay, Mitch Trubisky goes 2 to Chicago, right? And they traded up to get that pick was from San Francisco. Jeez. Then it's Mahomes at 10. He was second quarterback off the board. They did make him wait a year, though, because what was it? Alex Smith was in KC at the time. And I think that Deshaun Watson goes a couple picks later. He's a good quarterback that has been rusty for a couple of years, but was elite before the incentive.
And Lamar Jackson was the same thing, too. He went later in the first round. And I know, that, here we sit, but the guy's been a number 1 quarterback for a number of years now that was drafted. Yeah. Anyway. So
it's totally true.
And you know what? I agree with all those guys. You can't play them.
No, and even watching Hard Knocks, like you just got the sense that like this poor guy, like he's very confident and he's not good. And everyone is smiling at him and being like, he's young and give it a good try. At least he's the backup. And now that he's in, it's just like there is no confidence. There is no confidence whatsoever.
And he's got millions and millions of dollars to go buy a place on a beach on the island and just...
He's ready to retire. He's in the mills already. His demo. They're already kicking feet up. Yeah. He's ready to go to Boca. Let's go.
But according to his mom's friend, he's great in the sack.
Okay.
That's not going to help that dude with the firefighter's hat on, though, is it?
No.
He's wearing that in the car. What the hell?
I love it.
Yeah. In the car. Yeah. Well, it's his prop. Like, he knew he was being filmed. He probably had to get, I think he knew he had to get ready for it. While we're talking about it right there on the screen, Century Downs Racetrack and Casino this Saturday, buddies, get ready. It is race day at Century Downs Racetrack. Barn burner heat. Everything starts at 12:45. 12:45. Races start. And so you get your lineup card and you get some shekels down on the race. You get the 2-horse. Y'all like the 5-horse. What about the 2? I'll get a trifecta. Get all that. Green. Get that figured out. Green. Get yourself a couple of these.
Oh, yeah.
And then head out to the rail and start screaming and yelling at your horse. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing some stuff. They've got a barn burner heat. We don't know which one it is, but somewhere throughout the afternoon, one of the races is going to be for us here at Barn Burner. We'd love you to come down. It's free to get in. So again, remember 12:45 is when it starts. So get there early, 11:30, 12 o'clock, whatever. Grab some booze, add some food, probably be all right at noon.
On the piss, on the titties.
Something like that, yeah. But come and hang with us. We're going to be there betting on the ponies and having a hell of a good time. If you've never been to the racing, and this is the thoroughbreds, no disrespect to anything else, but the thoroughbreds are the best. And I don't know that there's really any debate about that. For the month of September and October, it's live thoroughbred racing every Saturday and Sunday at Century Downs. 12:45 post time, admission free. All ages are welcome. Beauty. Be there. We're going to be there. Love to see you. hang with us and have some fun at Century Downs on Saturday.
What would be the best outcome for the barn burner heat? Like, do we want the red horse to win? Is it number 11 because you guys were heaping praise on BACKLUND all day yesterday? Like, what would be funny or ironic?
No, I just we'll get together as a group and figure out what horse we're gonna have to have a
five horse.
Get the 5 horse. We'll have to really figure it out and then go all in, baby.
Did you wear 4 before 44, Rhett?
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about your lucky numbers here too, Dino. You don't want to.
What's lucky about my numbers?
Well, the numbers we wore didn't get us to the NHL, so we're sticking with yours.
I don't think it was my numbers didn't help me win anything. So,
is there a 99 horse? That's the one we want.
So yes, game day for the Calgary Flames. They're in Winnipeg today to take on the Jets. So is this officially the 4th because they played?
Yes,
Kraken and the Kraken. So I mean, this is in a way this would be their game 4, even though it's the 3rd night of play. Game 4 of their preseason. You had mentioned, I don't know if we need to really get into it as preseason lines, but
we can do it in the Pinder report. It's just a quick
Pinder report.
Yeah, we know Wolf is starting. That's probably the biggest talking point. And the vets going. Uyghur Zadorov on the back end. Mangiapane, the only forward with really much track record. Ruzika Talk and Coronado also.
Honzek gets in again, as you mentioned. Dewar, Martin Pospisil. I know he was a guy that they. Big physical. They love the way he plays. I don't know how close he is to breaking through or being on that bubble of being considered to be NHL ready or not. Klapka, another guy. Want to see this guy. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but intrigued by him.
Played a big role in the playoffs too. I recall him scoring some big goals against, I think it was Abbotsford in the 2nd round, or was it the 1st round because they had the bye? Either way, whatever it was in the playoffs, it was like, yeah, that's a big body and some skill. This isn't just, someone running around trying to pick fights.
Is anyone impressing though? Really? Like
Coronado has, I think, if all things
but
considered.
Is he impressed because of the one game, or just there's lots of chatter? And is there? And awesome for him.
Yeah.
Kind of almost penciling him in at the moment, especially
feels like it with Pelts.
Yeah. Is there one of those kids that you're like, where the hell this? Like Dewar last? I don't know who Walker Dewar was till he got called up last year. Is there a guy that you're like, I've heard about even what's going on? The reason I ask is because Adrian Acoin said it to me the one year at training camp. He goes, "This is the first training camp ever where I haven't been impressed with any kid, anyone." Like, and I'm wondering if that's continuing.
That was like peak rock bottom for Flames player development. Daryl was trading away picks and then picking big, heavy guys that couldn't play.
And you know what? I mean, we can talk about Pelche, but even with a healthy Pelche, there was potential that 2 spots. There was room for some guys to get in here.
Well, Dewar's on, and I would think so. Where depending how you feel about Rosie, there's probably 1 or 2 jobs left.
Yeah, I mean, Coronado, right? I think he's going to be there.
Yeah. So if Coronado and Pelche and Dewar are penciled in, there's only 2 jobs left.
But those are essentially 3 first-year guys. I know Dewar got in partway, but I mean, breaking camp, making the team.
I just looked at
three new faces
last year. Like, how could you, if he's going to play anything like you saw last year? It's not like he has to make the team. He's just to be himself. He's got a job if he's going to play like that.
But now it would seem like there is one more job. There's just no good news on the Pelche front, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ruzicka. What are you? I mean, how long do you play this game with this kid? Was he drafted in 2018?
It's been a while.
Like, sorry, it's probably shit or get off the pot time for you. Be a player or go to Europe and make money, because it's like the inconsistency is maddening.
Off with Daryl gone.
This is what we got to find out.
Yeah, it's hard to know, man.
Like, honestly, he looked great the first 2 weeks of last season, didn't he? When they had him playing with some skill, and you're like, holy shit, look at this. It was like he did this with Shillington last year. Now he's going to do it with this Ruzicka this year. And then he may as well have been put on ice and, didn't hardly saw him the rest of the year.
Yeah, because what was that stretch he was on?
Yeah,
it was a point per game, but it was
like 6 to 10 games. And I think he was playing with someone like Mangiapane or something. And it was like, holy fuck, this is happening for him finally.
Yeah. I guess just kind of getting to the point I was going to make is just with Pelche. If you're waiting for some good news, I don't know that you're going to get it.
Don't hold your breath.
I don't think so. And I don't have anything official on that. but just kind of kicking tires.
You're gonna scoop.
Sometimes you cross your fingers, and it's like, well, maybe we'll get some good news.
Boomers, rumors.
Rumors.
Ooh, Boomer has it.
Not sure there's good news coming.
Wow, when someone's hanging an arm, I mean, it's
and it was hanging.
Well, they just pop that shit back in. It should be better.
If it's out, then sure. But if it's separated, then
yeah, Rhett.
Kids these days.
Yeah, there it is.
Don't want it bad enough.
Oh, if it's the playoffs, definitely.
Guess not. So what do you need to
playoffs? This is his make the team playoffs.
Yeah. So Coronado had a hat trick in the first game that did nothing for you, Rhett. What do you need to see out of the group tonight?
I want more physicality. You know what I want? I want to see Klapka and Dewar and Rosie and some of these kids go into Winnipeg and play like the city of Winnipeg. Play a little rough around.
Play stabby.
Yes, I know you diligently went over both game tapes from Seattle the other night. Right. The one in Seattle and one here, and that was the one overlying kind of reaction.
They were soft.
Yeah, you really did.
Really soft.
Yeah, that's right.
Hugely soft, like Doughboy soft.
Yeah, noticeably. Yeah, noticeably. Ryan Pike, Francis reporting Pelche has his arm in a sling today at Winsport. Yeah.
Quit trying to steal our thunder, Pike. We already.
Pike bomb.
No, it's a Pike bomb, Francis bomb. Yeah, it's not good. So it's kind of shitty. Shitty for the kid. I feel for the kid almost more than anything else. I look forward to seeing him on the ice because he's a little buzzsaw and he's got some energy. But I feel for the kid,
especially after his smart ass remark the other day. Love it.
Oh,
right up at the top of my favorites now.
Yeah.
What, you're happy that he's hurt?
No, I like it more because he had some humor and a little bit of jam to him.
Oh, I thought you liked him because he came out and he was a smart ass and got what he deserved.
I know it's not ideal, but if you're going to pick, let's say just an arbitrary number, let's say he misses 20 games. First 20 probably the best, all things considered, if you had to pick.
I guess, yeah. I
don't know. Also get a chance to look at some other kids earlier here, or maybe even not kids, like vet type guys, like Benny Dimes.
Rhett, you could speak to this, and if not only from your own career, but being around guys. I think sometimes it's spun by media people or whoever, where you come back from an injury, so the injury is better, but the rest of your body has taken no punishment over that 4 to 6 week period. So you're better off. You're really in a good spot. We really underestimate how hard it is to rehab and there's getting better and there's healing your injury, but getting into game shape and actually being ready to go and where you would be normally, it's incredibly hard, correct? Like we don't have any appreciation.
It's incredibly, I think the nice thing, to be quite honest with you, is that he can have a place in Calgary and start off with the Wranglers or the Heat.
There's no rush here. I just don't see any reason to hurry a kid back that, I mean, you don't even know what he is at the NHL level. Everyone's very hopeful, and there's been some glimmers, and you've got a sample where you're like, it seems like the puck's in the right direction when he's on the ice, but there's no rush here, especially because I just think there's a group of like 6, 7, 8 guys that you could rotate through that fourth line.
The shittiest part for him not starting, and Pinder, you're saying, well, maybe it's good at the start of the year. He's not established that he's ready to be here. That's the shitty part.
Someone else gets that opportunity.
Now, however long it is, you're going to be thrown into mid-season stuff, and that's harder to catch up to.
They didn't take any advantage of all the advantages of having your affiliate in the same team in the same rink last year.
None.
Yeah, they may as well have been on Mars.
Honestly, like none at all. Like you can do little things, and I understand like things could get really tough here with the cap, with Shillington and Pelche. I believe it's like, 10 games or 24 days for LTIR, and then you get cap relief. But if it's less than that, they're going to be in a pickle here. So maybe it is take a little more time, and I would expect a significant rehab sort of stint with the Wranglers. And on top of that, like, why not, if you play 3 times in 4 days, have Jacob Markstrom stay at home one day? Don't even come to the rink. Like Oscar Dansk, you're doing the morning skate. Vladar, you're starting tonight. Markstrom, full day off. I don't want to see your face. Like those sort of things you can do when you have the affiliate in the same town. Daryl didn't have much interest in that, and that's fine. But I believe that Tree and Connie and all the people that were key in the business side of saying, here are the why we want it in Calgary. those people are still around. You're going to see more of that, I believe.
No, we talked about it periodically. And the other part of it is, and you brought it up yesterday, and again, they were incredibly healthy last year.
Too healthy.
They didn't really have to deal with much in the way of significant injuries for any amount of time. It would have changed things. Obviously, then you would have seen it. But yeah, there was certainly, and again, the cap stuff it's beyond me a lot of times. How many times can you go to the farm? All of that sort of thing. But you're right. Could you not find some situation where not only is it beneficial for the kid, or at least it's good for the kid to come up and play, but it might actually help your NHL club with rest or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, we're way down the speculation game. We're good at this week, apparently. But I'd like to see a stretch where he's too good for the AHL and then he's up. To your point, Dean, you don't want a guy trying to catch up to game pace that hasn't played an NHL game since last April.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, other than that, things are good.
Hey, it's like their 9th or 10th best forward. That's who they're missing. It's not the end of the world here.
Hey, look at that across the bottom.
Oh,
one of our new sponsors on board, Alberta Blue Cross. You see it there. Personal benefits, group benefits, travel insurance. There's only one thing better than sharing memories, and that is making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance protects your memories and more wherever travel takes you. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. That's ab.bluecross.ca/travel. Hello, Alberta Blue Cross. Welcome to Barn Burner, Alberta Blue Cross. Good to see you. Appreciate
We're hopefully going to be doing some nation vacations here in this season and coming seasons. And when we get let's say 20 to 40 Lugans, including us, and we're going to maybe leave the city, I think travel insurance is a good idea.
Going to want Alberta Blue Cross. Yeah. We're going to need waivers.
Move,
Yeah. Can we go up a level? Is there, how many tiers of travel insurance?
Is there platinum insurance?
Yeah. Do you have
Can I get the Medivac helicopter insurance?
Yeah, we could have that. That would be great. That would be ideal.
In case someone takes out my ribs at a bowling alley. I don't know.
Yeah, just ran.
Let's do the Pinder Report. It is a game day. The Pinder Report is brought to you by all the good folks over at Village Honda, Northwest Automall, online at villagehonda.com. New in-stock inventory on the ground, more coming every single day. That big truck backs in there and Hondas on the lot. Your automotive adventures begin at Village Honda. New vehicle pricing is MSRP. They are your dealership for life. VillageHonda.com presents the Pinder Report.
Fellas, it is game day, and before we get there, let's start with the talk of the day. I believe it was this morning. Elliot Friedman, Friedgebomb, with his estimate on a Backlund extension. This is his third of, I think, 20 thoughts. He's lazy. It's preseason for him, too. My prediction on Michael Backlund, in the neighborhood of 3 years at $5.5 million. We will see how accurate I am. It's always a grind to get there, but there's will on both sides. So first glance, 5.5 times 3. Again, that's not starting this year. That's starting in the 24-25 season. So the deal would kick in when he's 35 years old, which he turns this spring, and it would finish when he is 38 at the end of that last season. What is your reaction to 3 times 5.5? Dean, I'll start with you.
My reaction is, and I'm not looking to come at you, but whenever we've talked about Backlund, you've said, well, 1 year, a 2 year deal. It's never, that's great for the Flames.
Yeah.
I don't see Backlund. It feels like it's going to be a 3 year deal. He's going to want 3 years, and 5.5, it's absolutely high. But so, yeah, to be talking about 2 years at 4.4 or whatever,
love to see it.
It scares me that he's probably right. I fear that it's going to be 3 years, which, as you said, he's kind of 4 because he's got 1 year left on this deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes him to 38 and 39. And I think he'll still be a fine, serviceable player at 38, but not a $5.5 million.
How the hell do you know?
He will turn into a 38-year-old at the end of that last year. So it's his 37-year-old season that it ends. He'll be 38 that spring. But yeah, I mean, look, he skates well. You hope that he ages better. He's been much healthier.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think Friedman's going to be far off because he typically knows what the hell's going on. It's what we talked about yesterday. How many of these guys are going to have?
Yeah.
How many guys? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting to it, but you think that him at 5.5, Huberdeau at the
10.5,
10.5, Kadri at what, 7.5?
7, yeah.
is Lindholm going to get signed? Like, we're going to have 4 centermen, kind of. I guess Lindholm's not technically always center, but like, it's too many. It's too many old guys for too much money.
Yeah, you're locked into 3 30-year-old centers for the next 4 years.
And it's not
Lindholm
against a young fucking league, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's not a shot against Backlund. Get the money. That's it's the rest of it. Just like I said yesterday, I'm not mad if Backlund's a captain. I'm disappointed that the other guys haven't stepped up, or that there isn't a better leadership group. Maybe he is good. I'm not mad that Lindholm wants his money. Lindholm's the one guy I would sign out of those 4 and pay him a little extra.
Yeah.
But you're going to have too many of them for too long, for too much. That's the problem.
What does this tell us about Lindholm, boys?
He gone.
Because the more you give Backlund and the sooner you get Backlund, the harder it is to sign Lindholm, in my opinion.
What the hell is, sorry, now I'm wound up. Why do we have to keep him?
You don't have to do anything. Yeah. At those numbers, I wouldn't, Rhett, honestly.
Right? Like,
I'm a big Backlund fan. I don't like 3 years because it's actually 4 to your point, Dean.
Worth on the open market in return?
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like Colorado was interested in adding him before they went and got, what was it, Johansson this offseason?
In reality, what do you think he's worth? Give us is it a second rounder?
I think you get a second plus for sure. But
yeah,
I mean,
like so do I. And I'm like, can't we fill from within?
There's no centers in the system right now.
But that's the other, and I was going to say, I mean, it's down the road, but what if, and it's a good problem to have, but say in 2 years, so if you sign this deal, you've got Backlund for 4 years. In 2 years' time, Honzek has emerged and is ready to get a crack at the NHL at the center
Maybe
spot.
Zari's the thing.
You've got Lindholm, Kadri, Backlund, and the money you've spent on those guys, you'd love to spend on some new young guys. What if Coronado needs a deal like that?
To me, he signs, if Lindholm signs, it's even worse. They are going old school philosophy in a new world.
I agree. I would say that first off, Honzek, like they're going to try at center this year. I don't think that's a slam dunk at all. And Zari's had a nice camp thus far, but it's very early. They don't have centers in the system. But I'm not. That doesn't justify giving this guy this much money or term. I don't like anything over 5, and I don't like anything term over 2. And if Michael Backlund, that isn't enough for him, I think you have to turn him into assets that could be your next centers down the road.
Exactly.
And you know what? You have a little more money to maybe massage a Lindholm deal if you feel like you have to have 2 veteran centers. And look, I looked at it. If Michael Backlund, in a best case scenario, what is he? Like a best case, he has a perfect season.
Now, he's your captain.
Probably like what you saw from Patrice Bergeron light.
Yes.
Not even full Patrice Bergeron at 38 last year. What do you think Patrice Bergeron made last year on a 1-year deal?
Well, yeah.
5. I'm not going beyond Bergeron numbers for a guy that doesn't score as much as him, doesn't win Selkies like Bergeron did, and wants to be a captain. Like, I'm sorry, you don't get market rate if you want at this point.
I know.
We can go a year at a time, and if you're good, we'll keep paying you. But the risk of 4 years at this age, I love Backlund. I hate what Elliott's floating here. That doesn't help this team long term.
Get some cap relief, because every year there are teams that need to shuttle guys. And you mentioned Johansson. That was essentially what happened. You're able to take on some guys who have NHL pedigree and maybe have all of that sort of thing, but teams can't afford to keep them. So why don't you be the landing spot instead of giving up a first rounder for someone else to take?
You're gonna get Sean Monahan. No move, no trade, the whole full deal, all the money up front too. Like, what are we talking about?
And if I'm the Flames and I'm in love with Michael Backlund and he really wants to be here, my conversation is this: we're going to give you a 2-year deal. It can't be more than 5. And if you're good, we will have no problem bringing you back on deals after that. But we can't afford to be locked in beyond that because there's just too much risk of players of that age.
It's one of those classic cases, it feels like, where a team, if this is accurate, where a team is overvaluing its own.
100%. And no, I'm not.
I think he's worth 5.5 today, no problem. The challenge is it's the next 4 years is what you're paying him for, not today. He's got a contract today.
And so
you want Michael Backlund at 5.3 or whatever?
What's he making right now? What's he making now?
5.3 or something.
How are you getting a raise at this part?
Well, it tells you he's been good, but
you can't. How old is he? It's not 95.
34. He turns 35 in the spring.
Must be the water in Calgary because apparently nobody gets the leadership group in Calgary doesn't get old, and we can just fucking pay them whatever they want. How many playoff games does he have, by the way?
More than the last captain, but yeah.
Really leading him into the promised land. And again, you know what the shitty part is? I'm taking shots at Backlund, and it ain't Backlund's fault. You want to stay here and be the captain? Take a fucking hometown discount.
Yes, I agree with that. And that's why I keep floating 2 years and less than 5, because otherwise this makes no sense to me. And if I'm Backlund's agent, I'm sure it makes no sense to him. But if you really want to be the guy that you think about it, if he puts 2, 3, 4 more years here with that jersey on, like he goes down as one of those one jersey players. I'm not going to say rafters. I think that might be a little lofty, but he goes into that class of like, you see him around town. He's a Flame. He's a guy that just is associated with the jersey.
Now, so a question for you, and I'm just curious what you guys think. Either way, he plays out this final year. This year ends. Yeah. If he is a free agent, and we know the cap's going up, would he get 3-4 years at 5.5 on the open market?
Probably from a bad team, not from a contender.
That's
team.
That's the point. If you're going to go to a bad team and help fill a hole, so
but even then, that feels like the highest.
Yeah,
end.
That's peak. Yeah, that's like the worst GM in the league's offer is what he wants right now. You think about July 1, all these GMs get to bid. You're theoretically taking the worst evaluation of a player's talent, the highest amount of money, the biggest overpay. Go ahead.
Texting right now.
Avec?
Don't do it.
He watches. Don't worry about it. Or his wife watches and then tells.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
that's my understanding.
Jesse.
Get a telephone.
Yeah. Telephone. Don't do it.
No, I've heard some conspiracy theories. Do you want to hear the conspiracy theory?
Yes.
Love.
Okay, so Connie, Connie, how long has he been at the job here, fellas? Like, is this his 10th, 11th year? What's he doing here?
No, he's brand new, right?
He's brand new. Jeez, okay. So, and in terms of like extensions and signings, like how many of these big things has he done so far?
Really nothing of substance. I
feel like this is probably his first big one.
Yeah, it's kind of,
And if he wanted to sort of like stress test the org and see, you know, where the leaks were, maybe you float something that's not true and see where it surfaces. Because Connie's playing chess, not checkers, right?
He's a conniving little bastard.
Yeah.
So are you saying
kill him with the smiles? Kill him with the smiles and see what happens.
Are you saying
I'm the dumb guy in the room?
That Conroy is potentially in cahoots with Friedman?
No, I'm saying like, Connie's throwing some stuff around the org and seeing, hey, what am I going to hear from where? Let's. Are
you going to get honesty from the people helping you? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is if you're one of my henchmen, Rhett, I'm going to say, hey, we're looking at 3 times 6. And if I'm talking to this guy here, I'm saying, hey, we're looking at 4 times 4. And I just see what I hear from different insiders, different places, and say, interesting.
This has gotten a little muddy, I have to admit.
Well, I told you conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but I don't know what.
This is 0% true. I really.
So who is he conspiring with? It's not Friedman.
We can trust in the org.
That's what my question was. So he's got guys that are helping him, and he's throwing it out there just to test them, to see if they're going to be yes men or you're an idiot, Conroy, an idiot.
No, more to see who's leaking stuff to the media. That's sort of what I'm saying. Yeah.
Screw the media, dummies.
Stupid media.
So you think you could play a hard game out there tonight?
Shit. Wasn't that the answer?
How does it feel? Shit. Shit. I got to get that clip. I need that.
No,
so good.
And I guess I don't really believe that at all is a real thing that's happening, so much as I think that Craig is very aware of all this stuff. I don't think that he needs Rhett to text him and say this isn't a good idea. I think he also understands what would be a very, restrictive signing down the road.
I'll say this. If
you've got good hand signals too.
If this goes through, then I worry about Dave Nonis. I worry about Iginla. I worry about Pascal. I worry about everybody because it feels like it's a more collaborative effort than ever.
I disagree.
And if it goes through, so, like, are all these guys arm in arm in harmony?
No,
it looks good to me.
It speaks to a bigger issue that Ryan can.
Hey, don't step over Jack laughing at my stuff. I heard Jack laughing there.
It was, yeah. You love the off mic laugh. Sorry there, Rhett. So what are you hitting at, Rhett? I'm not picking that up.
Go ahead.
Who runs the fucking show for those 4?
Well, it's Connie. Everything stops.
No. If they're all in agreement,
okay.
Go higher up, nothing's changed.
Look, if the owner's doing this, then sure. I don't know that I can go there yet, but look, if there's one person that's probably more invested on being a playoff team every year,
Boomer is saying, if all 4 of those geniuses down there are agreeing that this is a good deal, you question them, or is it coming from
North? Yeah, and my point was this: if you want to look at the track record here, the owner is hell-bent on short-term success, not a long-term plan. And so that would fit what you're sort of drawing there.
And you know what's the worst part? Is it feels like we don't like Michael Backlund. We don't want him to have the captaincy, and we don't want him to have this deal. It has nothing to do with that. We're fine with you, Michael Backlund. You're a fine player. I just don't know that you're worth that kind of money. I don't know that you should have that much term, and I don't know that you're the right guy for the C. You be you. You're Michael Backlund. You're Michael Backlund. That's great. Be Michael Backlund. There's some things you're very good at, and there's other things that I just don't know are tied to you. Namely, 3 years, 5.5, and a captaincy.
What is, last note on this, what's a deal you would say, yep, we got to get that done if you're Craig Conroy? That is the deal.
It's $4 million.
Pardon me?
If he wants 3 years, it's $4 million.
So 3 times 4, you're saying yes to?
I don't like it, but I would maybe be okay with it. And none of the fancy no move, no trade bullshit. No.
I think that's palatable, because if in the last year you had to move him, you eat half, it's $2 million. He's fine. That's not a problem. Do you know what's the number for you?
I come back to it, and I don't think ever captaincy should be part of a negotiation.
No.
So take it away. What deal works for you?
But if it is, then yeah, you brought up 4.4, 4.5.
I said 4.25 times 2, and that's clearly not what's out there. And that was, again, on the spot off the top of my head, and that's low, I think.
It probably takes 3 years, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not saying what's it going to take to get done. What I'm saying is, what would you be like? No. Yes, I can live with that.
I'm almost, if you get it at 2 years.
Yes, I'm the same.
I'm really kind of wide open. I can handle 2 years.
2 times 5 I could live with.
But every bloody deal, and some are 2 years, right? But that last year, it's like, God, we could sure use that $5 million. Could sure use that $4.5 million.
And look, maybe he's great in 3 years after a 2 times 5, and the cap's at $100 million. You're like, shit, we'll give you 6 times 1. Let's go.
Sign again.
Yeah.
Or just fucking trade him and go young like the rest of the league, and
And then you flip the script. And if I'm Michael Backlund, this is potentially my last contract. Who knows? It's 3 years. I'm not signing for 2 years. Why would I sign for 2 years? I'll wait till the summer. I'll get a 3-year deal somewhere. I love Calgary, but
this is why I go back to frickin' June, and I'm moving everyone. And I'm
still can
move everyone. I'll eat salary. I want picks, and I want young, and I'm going to rebuild it again under my vision as the new GM of the Calgary Flames. I'm sick of trying to patch over. What was that? The red green show where you get the duct tape?
Yeah.
No,
find you handy. Yeah.
No. Who was the guy, the good-looking fella? He had the TV show, the Maverick. Who? No, it was a TV show, and he fixed everything. Not Maverick.
Home Improvement.
No, not Home Improvement. It was more of a spy. He'd get himself into trouble.
Oh, MacGyver.
Oh, yeah, MacGyver.
Get some tin foil, some string.
Yes.
Do you have a lighter and some bubble gum?
I don't want MacGyver this.
No MacGyvers.
No MacGyver. MacGyver's great in a pinch, but not as a it's not a strategy.
Not long term.
No.
Not long term.
I'm with you. And you know what the worst case scenario is here, fellas? You give him term, you give him money, and this team is no good. And now you're trying to move 3.5 years of Michael Backlund.
You're trying
to get young, and he's got this deal. I don't see
it. To move Backlund, Kadri, Huberdeau, maybe Lind.
Listen, and I asked you, it's just at the very base of it, how many players at 35 are getting raises?
How many players at 35 are still playing?
Not many. Yeah, he's
How
an
many
outlier
on
already.
each team?
He's
One?
already beaten the odds.
Max?
It'll be 35 in the spring.
Play out the year. If you get something for him, you do. If
Pike
you
bomb.
don't, hey, you know what? You were a first-round pick. You played more than a decade for us. You've been a fine player. Best of luck out there. We hope you win something somewhere. Get your free agent money. We're going to take that $5 million and
Pike
go
bomb.
elsewhere.
Do a quick thing for us. Figure out how many 35-year-olds are in the league.
It's not really
There
a
can't
pike
be
bomb.
that many.
It's not many.
Pike bomb's kinda like breaking
And
news.
look, if you are good at the deadline and leading the division and you've got great goaltending and the team defense is smothering and Backlund, you're like, shit, this guy is a leader. Nothing stopping you from signing him then.
Sure.
I really don't think now's the time.
No. Because you need a captain.
Again, honestly, like,
Hey, can you
love
pull
Connie,
your
but
head
the
out of
less
your
you say
hoop?
in press conferences, the better. That's always been the rule.
Fellas, right? Like, fellas, right? Fellas! I think, right? Yeah, come on. What if Friedman's wrong?
Did we all just agree on something, by the way? What the fuck's going on here?
And about Backlund.
Ooh, Pike.
See, that's a pike bomb.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
Collarbone? Let's just guess. We're doctors, right? You two
No, listen,
It's definitely in the shoulderal region.
shoulderal region.
Injury, yeah. For those that aren't watching, Ryan Pike just tweeted out, Club says, can you throw that up there
Yeah,
one
throw
more
it up there,
time?
Jacko.
Club says Pelche needs surgery, which is in line from what I had heard. And it's not good. Yeah. So it's long term. It's no good.
So we're months, not weeks. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
move to league notes, unless anyone else has anything Flames.
Oh, I
the
love
lineup tonight. Sorry, the lineup tonight. Real
Okay,
quick
yeah.
here.
Mhm.
We told you about some of the guys that were traveling to Winnipeg. Here's how they line up. It's going to be a very jung group. Mangiapane, Ruzika Coronado, your top line.
Ooh, top line.
Pospisil, Zari, Dewar. That would have been theoretically a line in the playoffs last year in the American League. Hanzek, Schwind,
Do we like
and
that name?
Klapka, the third line.
That
Schwind.
It's spelt wrong there. Steinberg's got the spelling wrong. But other than that,
Oh, damn.
and then we've got clap on the Klapka on the right
Hunt,
side.
Rooney, Siona, your fourth line. Lucas Siona, had a
Bum,
great year with
ba,
Seattle.
ba, 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 my Siona.
And your top pair might be your second pair for this team, Zadorov, Uyghur, because they've been playing Tanev, Osterley together. So we'll see how that goes. Wolf will start in net, be better than 5 on 20 something. That's tonight in Winnipeg.
They've got a captain.
They do.
They do
And they had
have
two
a
options. I think if Josh Morrissey was made captain, no one would be like, oh, he's not a captain.
With big balls.
Huge.
Big
Balls.
Huge.
balls.
Got some
Huge.
balls on him, that boy.
Nice. And you know what? Nice guy. Great for the community. But also, you get him on the
Tough as
leader.
nails.
Like,
Not making 5.5.
What's he
he's
making?
he got a good deal the last
Did he
one.
get a new deal? Well,
Yeah,
I
he's
hope
making
he's making
some-
20.
He's a good
'cause I
player.
like-
Clink.
Get paid, son. Okay, NHL news.
yeah.
Boys, wave goodbye. That's Corey Schneider. He's retired.
Oh, no.
Boy, was he good as a Canuck. And it feels like the moment he left that organization, health and play and all that tapered off. Had both of his hips done, I think, back-to-back years. Lou gave him another contract on the island. He finished, I think, with one game on Long Island, a bunch in New Jersey, and the best days of his career, odd they have him in a Jersey uniform there, certainly in Vancouver. Right around the time they went back-to-back, President's Trophies, trip to the Cup final. He might have been just coming into the league at that point. And he and Luongo, it was like, boy, what are you going to do with both these guys? They're two number ones. And I think over the course of a year, they both left.
Hell. Did you hear that?
No.
Razor
The
Oh, there I
was
can
that?
hear it.
She's back at it.
Jeez.
She's got a work ethic.
Razor. Knock it off.
What time does the podcast start? What time are you guys starting today? Are you starting on time?
That damn garage door is open up 2 feet again.
How long's the Pinder report today? Does he have a lot of stuff today?
Talk about the Bills. You really got to fill some time with the Bills.
Yeah. 3.25 million per on
Oh,
on
that's a
Lowry.
sweetheart deal. Are you kidding me? Jeez.
Do you need to go take?
I got to figure. No, I
Is
don't
this-
want. I
is this
don't want to know anything. No.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Is this a title match or is this a tag team effort? What do we got?
Oh, jeez. Come on.
All right, let's move.
Jack's laughing. Don't step on Jack laughing.
Jack might be laughing at this one too. I'm just going to let this play. Major League Baseball, there's a pitching change and a batter coming up. Everyone silent.
So the Braves will go from Johnson to Hand, and the batter will be Mastroboni. That's probably a good thing Jeff Francoeur's in the other booth.
That's hard.
So the Braves will go from Johnson to Hand, and the batter will be Mastroboni. That's probably a good thing Jeff Francoeur's in the other booth.
What are the odds that those three players?
Well done.
Wow.
The broadcaster's name, Jack, because like give him an Emmy or whatever you do for sports broadcast. Like that is just sensational stuff. Wow.
Maybe that's what's Mastroboni.
Stop by my place.
Fell off.
That's
Knock
Razor's
something over.
burner on Twitter, Mastroboni. Stay with baseball. Here's a look at your wild card races. First, the American League. Jays lose last night.
No.
Romano with a broken fingernail and not a blown save, a loss last night. It was 0-0 in the ninth to the Yankees. Seattle beats Houston and things tighten up a little bit. Now 2 games between Seattle, who's out, and the Jays, who hold the second wild card. Houston and Seattle wrap their 3-game set tonight. I believe it's Framber Valdez on the bump for Houston, and it'll be Garrett Cole, the presumptive AL Cy Young favorite, against Jose Barrios in Toronto. More on that in our Betway Bets of the day later. In the National League, more teams involved. The 3 that are in at least position to make the postseason right now. Philadelphia, Arizona, and Chicago, Miami, and Cincinnati right there as well. Would be nice to see Ellie De La Cruz in the postseason. And the Reds. I feel like it's been a while since the Reds have been in the playoffs.
Guy's a stud.
He's a stud.
Twitter exploded last night. The Cubs dropping balls in the outfield. All these Cub fans going friggin' crazy. Love it.
It's also nice when the Cubs are relevant. They're kind of back up above grabbing some air. It's been a while since they were good. They had to sort of retool after going all in for that World Series a while ago.
Cubbies.
Better when Wrigley's bumping, right?
Have you been to Wrigley, Pinder?
Yep.
I think it's
I want to say
stabby in that area too.
Has it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not nearly as bad as the White Sox Stadium. That's the capital of Stabsville. Holy moly.
The whole region is not the
Chicago
best.
a little more stabby than other cities
Chicago.
for sure.
Chi-town is not a place you want to go see right now, Dean.
NFL, I don't want to be that guy that only does stuff about his team. I don't want Jack just submitting Steelers stuff, but this is adorable, and I think we're all going to like it. Here's your Chargers team photo. Looks like a standard team photo, nothing new, no big deal, right, Dean?
Oh.
Well, you got bad eyes. Let's zoom in. Huh? What do we got here?
Oh, a good boy. Oh, a boy.
That looks like your pooch, Dean.
It does look like Bird Dog.
That looks like Bird. Now, you know who this is.
Girl.
This is River.
Oh.
River's a rescue. River's been trained in penitentiaries and has worked with inmates and is now being transitioned from that work into being given to a military veteran to help with PTSD. Everyone loves River. And I don't believe it's Phil Rivers' dog because that house is...
I'll have lots of puppies.
Full.
Be comparable. I thought you were going to say everybody loves dogs. And I mean,
well, almost everyone.
It's just a dog.
Just man's best friend? Just a dog?
Sometimes.
He hates dogs. Only person I know that hates dogs.
Yeah, I owned a dog. I don't hate them.
You tortured a dog and put it in Boomer's house. Hardly owned a dog. Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the New York Jets. And again, if it's Zach Wilson or, I don't know why not Cap, he's offered to be the practice roster quarterback. He's still getting up, working out 5 till 8 a.m. every day. He says in his letter, talks about being a good decoy or good test for the defense of the Jets at practice. It's not happening, but Cap probably wouldn't be a downgrade on old Zach Wilson there. 16 touchdowns, 4
But
picks.
how long has it been since he played?
It's been a while. He's long in the tooth now.
It's getting long now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Andy Dalton throw for 300 yards last week, didn't we? Like it's
yes.
I don't know. It's
yeah,
crazy.
But
he's been playing. That's fair. And our Thursday night matchup looks like this, courtesy Betway. This is a juicy Thursday, boys. We got the Lions and the Packers. It's like who wants to win that NFC Norris division, as Chris Berman would call it. Lions 2-1 start, Packers 2-1 start. You got the kneecap biter. You got Jordan Love, first year as the starter in Aaron Rodgers' shadows, out from which he steps. It could see the return of Christian Watson, their explosive wide receiver. He says he's playing Thursday. Coach says he's still got some hurdles to clear.
That would be, I would want to know the status on that.
Yes,
but
before you bet for sure.
But remember, Green Bay, they were down to the Saints on the weekend and then roared back. I don't know. What do you, which Packers team is it?
They look great in week 1. They lost to Atlanta week 2. They rallied to win week 3. In Detroit, that big win against KC week 1. And since then, just okay.
Just okay. Yeah.
We'll see. Someone's going to win that division because it ain't going to be Chicago or Minnesota. Both those teams 0-3.
What were the names of the 4 old divisions in hockey? The Smythe,
Norris, Adams, and
Patrick.
Flyers.
I like those better.
I do too.
Metropolitan.
You could rename them. You could go like
out of here, Metropolitan.
Northeast, South. What?
What, you didn't like the Honda division? Jesus. Remember that from the pandemic?
I love Honda.
The Discovery Card division. I love all these brands. Sure. Just like don't name your divisions after them, please.
What's happening in the studio?
Just the lights going on again. Jack's losing his ass.
How are the batteries, Jack?
Awful.
Shitty batteries.
The batteries, I can't see it.
They said 10 hours on the box, and they last 10 minutes.
I know where you're going, Pinder.
Yeah, and then I don't need to finish.
That would have been good. And as we take a look at the what?
Yesterday, Dean, you wondered if we would be able to sell some sort of a C-bomb counter on the show. Twitter's a beautiful place because one of our boys was listening. This is Murray Moston. Said, guys, I used to work in aviation. When Cancun, which is your airport code CUN, had thunderstorm, which is a TS abbreviation, the flight path would show CUNTS. So we used to refer to crazy people as Cancun thunderstorms. Maybe one of the airlines can sponsor your C-bomb counter. Thank you, Murray.
We've got a serious Cancun thunderstorm.
Check out the Cancun thunderstorm at the sales desk. My God. What is happening?
Oh, man.
How good is that?
That's really good.
Our guys are the best. And please do tag us and stuff and send us stuff on Twitter. It only helps the show.
We used to refer to crazy people as Cancun thunderstorms.
CUNTS.
Oh, Murray, that is good shit.
Do you ever worry or wonder about Doug Flutie, guys? Because it's been a while since he had
a
big payday. Yeah. I've got a little video. I want you to do one thing. Stop worrying about Doug Flutie. Let's have a peek. Doesn't he, Dean?
He's got a couple.
He's got 2.
Yeah.
Doug's doing okay. Don't worry about Doug.
Yeah, for those that are listening, he I seem to remember I heard this, but yeah, I think he's got a full-on Batmobile, as we saw in that video. I wonder, that's kind of funny and whatever, but I would own some dumb shit if I had a bunch of money.
Oh, yeah, you would.
I mean, the stuff that I would own if I just had FU money.
You had dumb shit before you had big money.
I know, yeah. I got no money.
And look at for 5 years.
Stupid stuff I've got. Oh, man. Good for Doug, though.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill, great.
Stamps, great. San Diego Chargers, okay, not great. Poor Rob Johnson took his job.
Who?
Shoveler.
Oh, dear.
Bang.
That is your Pinder Report.
Brought to you by Village Honda. Huge selection of used vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets. It's always Village Honda. They're your dealership for life, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. They are indeed your one-stop automotive destination. Don't forget, they're part of that dealership group. Access to over 400 vehicles inside that dealer group. So if you don't see right now on the lot something that turns your crank, go in and talk to them. Say, hey, what about this? Ringy dingy. Oh yeah, we got one of those. They'll take care of you. Village Honda, your dealership for life. Speaking of Buffalo, I've got a couple of things here. We'll start with Josh Allen, who apparently has signed himself a nice little endorsement deal. It's got hooked up with Pepsi Cola. Those are the ones you love, right? When you can get in with a running shoe, or shoe company, or soft drink, or energy drink, that's good money. So now this, of course, he's in Buffalo, where they have buffalo wings. Is it a bit of a cliche, Rhett? Is it kind of overblown?
What's going on here?
Everyone has them, and they're quite popular here, and they eat them 3 or 4 times a week. But
well, it plays into this. Here is the latest TV ad for Josh Allen. Oh, so you got caught. Somebody was filming him on the phone. He's putting hot sauce in his Pepsi. That crazy Buffalonian. Is that a move? Do you get the bottles of hot sauce at the table and then douse them?
I've never seen that before.
I'm a big blue cheese dipper, so.
Oh, I love blue cheese. Son of a gun. With wings, yeah. And on a steak. Yeah. And also now the Bills are at home this week. They've got who coming in, Rhett?
Miami. It's a morning slate game.
Thanks, Ryan.
Sorry, morning slate game. It's at 1.
That's the morning slate out here.
For us, it's morning, the early games. So yes, they are. Now, is it usually a big deal when it's the Dolphins? Dolphins,
That's
Bills.
Big rivalry. They hate the Finns.
Okay. Well,
where would that rank compared to Patriots and Jets? Like that divisional rivalry?
I think traditionally it's higher. Actually, I actually do.
I think it's back.
Yeah,
because the Patriots are the Jets were that.
Yeah.
I think they're would have been what the Pats last 10 years is probably the biggest one.
Wow, but they would just come in and kick the piss out of them.
Yeah, okay.
Right, like Brady loved coming to Buffalo and making fun of it and winning by 30. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that's a rivalry.
No. Well, true to form, the Bills fans are getting ready for the Dolphins, who are coming in. Yesterday was Tuesday.
We had baptisms yesterday. Didn't we,
yeah, so they're baptisms and that. It's they're getting ready. It's early in the week, but the Bills fans are getting prepared. You see, they had a. See, there's like there's a stuffed fish.
Yeah,
on top of the table. I think it's Coletta's cousin.
This looks like the guy that did
he gives himself
number 17. Yeah,
he gives
that's the
himself
guy. The shades.
The table didn't stand a chance. And you're right. I mean, he lands hard on that left hip.
That stuffed dolphin is in there. I don't know.
Yeah, but that stuffy helped him.
So is that overblown as well, the tables, or is that pretty accurate? Bills Mafia.
Well, I think they've tried to curtail that, to be honest with you.
What, you don't need 2,000 concussions for ambulances to deal with every Sunday?
That one is fine. It was when they're coming off the buses, I think.
Yeah, the RV.
Cops were like, yeah. But again, 8 ejections last game. That's it.
Wow, 70,000 or so. Eh?
Are you kidding me? Pretty
well
good.
Behaved. And I've said this before: is a win or a loss better?
For ejections,
a loss, you might be kind of.
They've already said it's the late games that cause the most trouble.
Yeah, more booze. A divisional late game loss, that's your perfect storm.
Right? Like they don't start later. They just go longer.
Yeah.
Let's do this day in Flames history for McLeod Law, shall we? Our friends over at McLeod Law, they're taking care of you. That really, when you go up and down the list of our sponsors, we talked about Alberta Blue Cross. Well, they're taking care of you. Anthony, everybody at Village, they're taking care of you. McLeod Law taking care of you. Whatever the issue in your life may be, whatever your legal needs are, they are at the head of the line. That's right. Do you have
I
legal?
have legal issues. This is a contract I need to sign. I'm going to send it to Peter Klein, see if it's okay.
Yeah, and if Peter isn't the guy, then he knows a guy or a gal or
somebody
somebody
there will handle him.
A lot of experts over there.
Yes.
Personal injury lawyers, whatever the case is, literally a case, community, general firm, they've got you covered. McLeod-law.com. We enjoy them because they are normal people. It's just they're Calgarians, like all of us. They get the city. Sometimes you just don't know what you're getting, what you're dealing with. They put you at ease. They are there to help you. They are on your team, guys like Peter Klein, like you see right there. McLeod-law.com. He's the personal injury guy and also the disability insurance claim guy. If you're getting that insurance claim, they're kind of like, oh yeah, we'll do what we can to, if they're dragging their feet, Peter Klein, get them on it. Not one, but two former Flames having birthdays today, and unique parallels between the two, both good and bad.
Oh,
we'll start with the first one. Happy 40th birthday, which I can't, but Jay Bouwmeester.
No way.
September 27, 1983, first rounder to the Florida Panthers, third overall.
He's been gone for a while.
He
Wasn't
has
it the
been
year
gone
they
for a
won the
while.
cup there that he?
Well, I'll get into it. Of course, drafted to Florida. One of the finest skaters in junior that I've ever seen. I remember Rick Carrier, his coach, GM in Medicine Hat, said this guy probably at 16, 17 would have been a above average to elite skater in the NHL already. So big, so smooth, so powerful. Was drafted third overall, as I mentioned, to Florida. Spent some time there. Had back-to-back 15-goal seasons. The Flames said, ooh, 15 goals. We like that. We'd love to have a defenseman like that. He's going to be a free agent this summer? We're not going to wait. We're going to get ahead of everybody else. We're going to send Jordan Leopold and a third-round pick to Florida just for the negotiating rights, because he wasn't going back to Florida. He was going to be a free agent. They had 4 days to negotiate a new deal with Bouwmeester. They signed a 5-year deal worth $6.6 million each to bring in Jay Bouwmeester. That was at the 2009 draft in Montreal, I believe. And I remember working on the radio station. What you do is you hear about the trade. It's like, this is a blockbuster deal. We'll get Jay on the phone. It took a while. Jay was golfing with his dad up in Edmonton, I believe. And you're excited. Fans are excited. Let's get to talk to this guy. And as you kind of knew, Jay's not a rip-roaring, exciting kind of guy to talk to in those situations.
Yeah, I guess it's nice to be closer to home.
Well, yeah, I just my agent just called me and told me, so guess we'll talk here in the next day, a couple days.
Can't wait to get to Calgary.
No, Calgary is, nice city, so see how it goes. Okay, pumped at the thought of signing in Calgary. Now, in the end, three and a half seasons, 279 games, 18 goals, 97 points, and 0 playoff games, as it turned out in the end, as a member of the Calgary Flames.
Best decor in the league.
There was that.
4 Olympians on that. Jeez. Except none.
That was that. Jabo did go to the Olympics. I don't know if he went that time.
No.
Anyway, it did not go well. There was no playoff success. So then, as boy, you talk about things you remember well. 2013, April 1st, the wheels were coming right off. Jay Feaster having to do a lot of dirty work. Trades Jay Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester waves his no move. He'll go to St. Louis. They get a deal done. Does anyone remember the package that came back?
Yeah, first rounder, Retro Bureau, and Mark Kandari.
That's right. Well done.
I worked for the HL team at the time, so we got to see a lot of Mark Kandari. And
I like that Retro Bureau came out, and you didn't even really think twice. Of course, Red O'Bara, the goaltender, right. Mark Kandari, and a first-round pick that was used on Poirier. And at the
Emile. Sorry, yes.
Emile Poirier, who at the time he was kind of a buzzsaw in junior, and you liked the way he played. And,
he had a great first AHL season, and then it was he went into the personal assistance program, and we never saw the same player.
Yeah. Then went on to St. Louis and won a Stanley Cup with them in 2019. Part of here's what's amazing. You think of Bouwmeester and world success. He won Olympic gold. He won the World Cup of Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
He won a World Championships.
Yep.
Went to 3 World Junior Championships.
Jeez.
2000, 2001, 2002,
That's
a
hard to
silver,
do.
and 2 bronze.
No.
Amazing, right? You would think of all the ones that you'd check the box off when you go to 3 World Juniors with Team Canada, you would think that would be automatic, but golds across the board, except at the World Juniors. But of course, I said, some good, some bad. February 11th, 2020, St. Louis Blues taking on the Anaheim Ducks, and Jay Bouwmeester suffers cardiac arrest at the game. And I had kind of, you remember it, but I had kind of forgotten about it. It's like, yeah, that was a scary, they finished the game at a later date. They shut things down, and he never played again. It was 1 year to the day, February 11th of 2021, he announced his retirement from the National Hockey League. But we understand, as far as we know, had a heart procedure, life's good. So that is the great news for J-Mo.
Canmore.
Is that right?
He's out in Canmore. I think he was helping with is it the Eagles? Canmore Eagles?
No way. The
well, I don't think anymore, but
yeah. The thing about J-Bo is not only was he a beautiful skater, he could skate all day long. It was like he had a scuba tank on. How many minutes? 30, 40, 50? What do you need tonight? I'll play.
Talking to Reg, just go hiking with him, and he was,
is that right?
Keep up.
No, I was going to say, if he's in Canmore, that guy could punch out 100 clicks on cross-country skis, no sweat, with his stride.
Amazing athlete, and you'd have hoped it would have gone better.
Couldn't shoot.
How did he get 15? Because that was the thing. 15 goals in back-to-back years.
Yeah, they weren't good. He was out there for probably full 2 minutes every power play.
Yeah.
It is a criticism, but it was oddly bad shot.
All around, slapper, wrister, all of it. Muffin. So happy birthday to Jay Bouwmeester. Glad that things are going well. 40th birthday. It is also the birthday.
That'll be a party.
A little unnecessary. Jay catching strays here on his birthday.
I thought that's what we did. Cheap shots.
To each other, yes.
Sitting in our house, just taking random shots at people. Also, happy 47th birthday, Damon Lankow.
Is that how old I am then?
1976.
Son of a bitch.
Is that how old I am?
Round 1, 5th overall,
46.
1995. Tri-City Americans. He was the best junior hockey player in Canada.
Lankow?
He was the top scorer in the Western Hockey League.
You won Player of the Year?
Did he not win Player of the Year? I just remember this. It was kind of, you went from Darcy Tucker and then all of a sudden another kind of undersized Western leaguer, racking up points. Drafted to Tampa Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was a Tampa Bay Lightning. And then, whatever, 6 seasons in Calgary from 05-06 until 10-11. Remember how he came to be a Flame?
Saprikan?
He was with the Coyotes. It was a weird one. It was kind of a sign and trade. The Coyotes signed him to a 1-year deal and then flipped him to Calgary for Oleg Saprikan and
don't say Derek Morris.
Danny Gauthier.
Danny Gauthier.
Danny Gauthier.
My boy.
Yeah. So he comes to Calgary, jumps right in with Jerome McGinley, and they hit it right off.
They had a love affair in the World Juniors. He won gold, by the way.
Yes, he did. 33 goals was his career high in 06-07, 30 goals in 07-08. Of course, missed the lockout year. But then, similarly, an on-ice incident, scary. In March of 2010 versus the Minnesota Wild, shot from the point from Ian White, headed towards the net. He's kind of knocked off balance and is falling down, takes the puck into his neck/back, kind of right at the base of his
spine.
Yeah, right onto his spine. And did not move, was on the ice for 10, 12. It was a long time, was stretchered off of the ice, and later to find out that he had fractured vertebrae and had broken his back/neck. So missed the remainder of that year. And then basically all of the next year minus 4 games. He played in the final 4 games of that 10-11 season. Did come back, played one more year in Arizona with the Coyotes. But that was, even by then, he was near the end of his career anyway. But awesome for him to get back onto the ice and not have your career end that way. But that was a scary one. When guys are stretchered off the ice and they can't move, brutal. And much like J-Bo, just a chatterbox.
Yes.
Just try and get a word in edgewise on those two guys.
Good luck.
Yeah, but I want to say something, Jay. Hey, David, no, I've got the floor right now. You just hush. Cheap shots. Happy birthday, Damon Langkow, Lidman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it was Langkow.
Langkow.
It was Langkow, and I think he didn't like the cow, and then at some point, you call it Langkow.
Just call me Lanks.
Yeah. Didn't he have a brother that was a goalie?
Scotty
Langkow?
Mm-hmm. He was.
What do you remember? Give me some, because you're about the same vintage. Give me some Damon. Yeah.
We played World Juniors together.
Well, I'll tell you to go. Come on.
Don't remember much.
Okay. Good stuff.
I still go see him actually, I've got more conversation out of him in 2 days of bullshitting in Scottsdale in retirement than I did in 6 years of playing together or whatever it might be.
He was a quiet dude, right? I remember sitting down with him one time, and it's like, well, we got 4 or 5 hours of radio every day to fill. So you go into the room and you try and sit down with somebody. And you know what? The other guy it was him and Alish Kodalik. Both of them stopped me mid-interview and were like,
I'm done.
How long is this going? Like, what are we doing here?
Is this done?
I thought you had a couple.
Keep back to stupid questions. I told you.
What are
you trying to get at?
What the hell is going on here? Hey, Tubby.
I've given you enough of my day.
I got a tub waiting for me back here. Damon Langkow, J-Bo Meester. Happy birthday, fellas. And both, I hope, life going terrific after serious on-ice injuries.
One of Lankow's boys was playing in Vancouver for the Giants.
Could have been.
Come on.
Look him up.
I know.
You look him up. Yeah. McLeod Law. They are Calgary-based, Calgary-born, Calgary-bred, and they know what it takes. They know what it's about to be an Albertan. They know what it is to be a Calgarian. Big part of their long-standing client relationships. They get this city and the way things work. They are diverse, they are varied, and they share a commitment to making a positive impact, not just for their clients, but just in general. They are proud Calgarians and do give back a ton, and we are proud to have them on board as a major sponsor of Barn Burner.
Love it.
There you go.
Good peeps.
Good peeps indeed. Are we watching this game tonight? Are we going to stream it?
Is it on? Where do you get it?
Well, you get it online. I'm betting the Jets website would have it. Usually the Flames website would also pick up on that thing. There's no football tonight.
At practice.
Oh, do you? Okay, well.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
See, Pinder's not biting on your BS either.
It wasn't even BS. I was just asking.
Then the answer is no. No, I'm not.
We'll source a period or two, see where we're at. The other one I checked in, it was 4-0.
Who are you wanting to watch in this game? Hanzik and Wolf?
Wolf, I'd be interested. Coronado for sure. Absolutely Hanzik, not for now, but for later. I mean, really, we're into prospect porn here. There's not a lot of who's going to influence this lineup tonight. I mean, Clap, sure. Ruzika, show us something. That'd be lovely.
Last 2 games, team. When are the last two games?
They play at Edmonton and at Vancouver to close out their preseason schedule, if I'm correct. I wrote it down yesterday.
I'm not watching it. Vancouver. It's too late.
Next Wednesday at Edmonton, next Friday at Vancouver.
Wednesday.
Excuse me, that's this week. Jesus. No, it's not. It's next week. Okay, thank you. Scared myself.
Did you start texting?
No.
No,
I thought you did some reporting there.
No. We'll end the show here. Just a little something. To end the show. I'm not going to be able to do it.
I was worried about that.
Chris Snow, assistant GM of the Calgary Flames, as we know, has been fighting ALS for a number of years. Kelsey Snow, his wife, on her Twitter account just moments ago, with a shattered heart, I've come to share that yesterday Chris became unresponsive and went into cardiac arrest. Paramedics and doctors were able to get his heart beating again, but devastatingly, a scan showed Chris has suffered a catastrophic brain injury caused by lack of oxygen. His doctors do not expect him to wake up from this. My chest feels cracked open and hollowed out. Chris is the most beautiful, brilliant person I'll ever know, and doing life without him feels unbearable. Hug your people, she says. We will hug our people. God love you, Snowy. We appreciate you. See you tomorrow, buddies.